Hey y'all, welcome back to my YouTube and welcome if you are new. My name is Neely. I am the face behind a classroom journey and I am sharing my life on YouTube and Instagram. I hope that you follow me here on my Instagram. I'll leave my handle here. It's just a classroom journey, so it's the same as my YouTube. But I figured today I would sit down and kind of just give a little overview of my year as my first year of being in a classroom and what it was like teaching in a pandemic. So this was my first year in a classroom, being in pre-K, and my kids just graduated last week and we wrapped up the school year. It was a phenomenal school year. I enjoyed every minute with my kids and I'm still having the blues because I'm missing them dearly. But I figured I would sit down and kind of discuss what it was like teaching in a pandemic and what it was like my first year of teaching, and just kind of give a little overview of like what it was really like, because I don't think anybody really prepares you for what it's like until you actually get to be in a classroom and get that hands-on experience. So of course with COVID, our precautions changed a lot. Like, there were different things that we were having to do. Every month was different. Things were changing. We were getting different information. So it was crazy. We were always figuring something new else out. Things that at the beginning of the year that was different, obviously, is that from the beginning to the end of the year, we were in masks. So our kids were not, but as teachers, we were. And that was definitely different and difficult to teach in a mask. Obviously, I would do it to protect my kids, but it was not easy teaching in a mask, and when you're trying to teach letter sounds, that was kind of difficult, but of course we made it work. But that was the biggest change, of course, was having to wear masks while we taught. Another thing that we did was we added a lot of different cleaning products in that were we would clean, like very deep clean every day after our kids left. We always cleaned after the kids left, but this year it was very extensive, things that had to sit overnight and stuff like that to kill the virus. Another thing that we would have to do, obviously, is if our kids were exposed, they would have to quarantine for a certain amount of time before they could come back to school and so forth. But we never actually had a case inside of our class or inside of our whole school, so no classroom had to shut down or anything like that, which was a huge positive. Another thing that was different was obviously having to have our kids stay more separated because they could not play together as much as they used to, which was hard because they didn't really understand why they couldn't. So that was definitely a little bit difficult, but it was, in the end we made it work where they didn't really know anything was different, and that's how we tried to keep it the entire year, is that they didn't know anything was different going on with COVID, and it was just school and nothing was out of the ordinary, and we just tried to keep it as normal as possible for the kids. Another thing that we had to do was kind of have the like chairs and tables separated enough to where they were spread out. They had enough room. Obviously, I wanted my kids to have enough room anyways because we're working on worksheets. We're doing all kinds of different hands-on things. So I wanted them to have enough space so that they had the room to work and the area to grow and learn. All like the amount of love that I had for my kids this year was just unmatched. Like, just growing as a teacher this year before I'm even in my elementary classroom was just, it was so successful. The kids taught me more than I could have ever taught myself. They were all different and they were diverse in their own learning, in their own backgrounds. Everyone had something different to bring to the table, which made our class unique, and it made us, who we were, and it made us a classroom family, which was so inspiring to me. Also, differentiating for each kid was something that I was, having to do because not every child would have the same academic level. Everyone was coming in at a different pace and they were coming in at different levels. So you always need to make sure that you're differentiating your instruction for each child because they need to get what they need to get out of it, and it might not look like the next person beside of them. So always make sure that you're giving your children what they need, and that may be that you need to assess them a little bit and make sure that you know where they are at and what they need to grow. Another reflection from this year that I look at is that we still got to do a good bit of things. Obviously, our parents could not come in the building, which was a huge difference this year because our parents would usually come in and bring their kids in, but our kids got dropped off at the door and then got their temperature checked, and then they went straight to our classrooms. But what I was saying is that we still were able to do all of our holiday celebrations. They were just in our classrooms though. But I still tried to make it as fun as possible. For Christmas, we did the Polar Express, and that was so much fun. And if I have some pictures, I'll try and insert some of those here. But that was so much fun. We also had Valentine's Day parties, Halloween parties, Easter parties, all that good stuff. And of course, we made it work. And our parents were so amazing about bringing in donations, so we never went without anything. They were amazing. But we did get to have an Easter egg hunt outside, so that was exciting, and our parents did get to come to that. And we did have a last week of school little picnic, and our parents were able to come to that too. So having those outdoor activities that our parents were allowed to come to was so great because they were missing out on so much with their kids, and that's not fun. We also got to have graduation, which was so much fun, and that was when I just boo-hooed my eyes out because I missed my kids so much. But overall, we had such a great year, and I think that if anything this year taught me that COVID cannot mess up our classroom, and we still had a fantastic year, and that's what mattered. So I hope that you stick around, hit that subscribe button, and don't miss any future videos, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Bye, guys.